Hello, and welcome to episode 32 of the Pixel Street Podcast, where each and every week, or sometimes other week, depends on our schedules, I guess, we get together and talk about one of the things we love the most, which is video games and just video game stuff, I guess, in general. As always, I'm one of your hosts, Joel Campos, and I am joined by the man who has beaten A Way Out 5 times already in a row, John Hansen.
Yes, I am A Way Out Pro. Sign me up, MLG.
Yeah, he's going to be in that A Way Out esport that's coming soon.
Yeah, I'm all over it.
He's on the you're from Missouri, right? Or Iowa?
Iowa,
yeah. You're on that Davenport, Iowa esports for A Way Out. You're on the team. Is that where you're from? Davenport?
It's Davenport.
Oh, Davenport. I don't know these things. I've never been there. This week we're going to be talking about a lot of different things. I mainly forgot to update on my outline here. But so we got things like No Man's Skies coming to the Xbox One, coming out of that PlayStation 4 exclusivity. We have Hellblade's Newest Sacrifice also coming to Xbox One, which was also a PS4 exclusive recently. And we have Jurassic World Evolution release date announced. So, yeah, we'll get into some of that news later. But for right now, as always, you can get our podcast on most podcast platforms on Mondays, as well as on YouTube, where you can watch us record the show live, much like we're doing right now, Thursday nights at 9 p.m. Central Standard Time. Let's get into some of the new releases. Some of these are kind of old, just because we missed last week. Scheduling wise, we just we're off beat all week. We were supposed to play A Way Out together. That still hasn't happened. So we're still, we're coming back. Sometimes it'll be every other week, I guess. It's just the way the schedule works out. Let's start. On March 23rd, we had Ni no Kuni 2 on the PS4, Detective Pikachu for 3DS, Castle of Heart for the Switch, A Way Out, which we'll get into that a little bit later, for the PS4, Xbox One, and PC, and Velocity 2X Critical Mass Edition for the Vita. I've heard that Ni no Kuni 2, people are liking that. Detective Pikachu, I actually have that that giant amiibo like right behind me on my table here.
Nice.
I don't know why I bought that, but I did.
Yeah, I've never played the first Ni no Kuni, but I've heard a lot of people like it. Detective Pikachu, I've only heard some things about it. I love Pokemon, so if it were on Switch, I would probably give it a try, but I have no want to actually go back to my 3DS. And like you said, we'll get to A Way Out later.
That we will. You want to take the next one?
Yeah, I got it. On March 27th, The Alliance Alive came out on 3DS, MLB The Show 18 for PS4, Altair, Liddy and Sully, The Alchemist and the Mysterious Paintings came out for Switch, PS4, and PC. Outlast 2 came to the Switch from to PS and PC. The Injustice 2 Legendary Edition came to Xbox One and PS4. Degeneration HD came to Switch. Bit Dungeon Plus came to PS4. Bridge Constructor Stunts came to PS4. MX vs. ATV All Out, I didn't even know they were still making those games, came to PS4. The Witch and the 100 Knight 2 came to PS4. Warp Shift came to Switch. And Plata Go came to PC.
Yeah, that is a lot of games that come out on one day.
Yeah.
That was just on Tuesday, so 2 days ago.
Yep.
I also didn't know MX vs. ATV was still a thing, and apparently it's only on PS4 right now, so I don't know what the status of that is. That's kind of odd to me.
I think the last time I played one of those games was PS2 days.
I played one because it was an Xbox game with gold like 2 months ago or something like that. Probably more than that. It was probably closer to a year ago, now that I think about it, but yeah, it was a free Xbox 360 backwards compatible game, and I tried it a little bit. It wasn't good, so that's probably why they haven't made one since. And now apparently they have one, which is very weird. On March 20th, I'll take the next two since that was a long one. On March 28th, 2018, we had Jalopy for PC. I don't know if it's Jalopy or Jalopy. I'm not sure. It's with a J. Tempest 4000 for PS4. The following day, on March 29th, 2018, we had Follow the Adventures of Bertram, Fiddle.
This is actually today.
Today, March 29th. Yeah, that's today. Follow the Adventures of Bertram Fiddle, Episode 1. A Q Dreadly Business. I'm not sure if that Q is a typo, but a Dreadly Business probably. We also have Zombilly coming to Switch, Tengai coming to Switch, Clusterpuck 99 coming to Switch, Streets of Red Devil's Dare Deluxe coming to Switch, Gotcha Racing 2nd, which is a very weird name, coming to Switch, Arcade Archives Punch Out coming to Switch, Atari Flashback Classics Volume 3 for PS4, Preda Vendetta Rising for PS4, Reverie coming to Vita, which is, dude, we still get like one Vita game every other week, and it kind of blows my mind. The Charming Empire coming to Switch, ACA. What?
I said the Vita's just barely hanging on.
Oh, barely. By like a thread. And then last but not least, on the 29th, which is today, we have ACA Neo Geo Sengoku 3 coming to the Nintendo Switch.
I'll take the rest of these.
All right.
Shadow Code Realized Blessings for the. Wow, that sounds awesome. That's coming to Switch. Devious Dungeon coming to Switch. On April 1st, we have Spartan coming to the Switch. April 3rd, Pillars of Eternity 2 Deadfire comes to PC. Penny Punching Princess comes to Switch. Metropolis Lux Obscura comes to Switch. And on April 5th, we have Urban Trial Playground, Sling Ming, and Super Rocket Shootout. All of them coming to the Switch. What's your favorite game name here?
My favorite game name, man, I forgot to think of that. I had one when I was typing it, but I forget. I think Zombilly is probably mine. Zombilly, that's a good one.
I was leaning towards Zombilly, but then I saw Clusterpuck 99, and I just, from the name there, I'm guessing it's like a chicken hockey game, and I really want that to be a thing.
I also think that just a strange one is Velocity 2X Critical Mass Edition. So like that's a weird name. I don't know if it's 2X or you're supposed to say it 2 times. But moving on, one of the features that me and John both really appreciate on the Xbox One is the backwards compatibility. So every week we go through, if there is a game that becomes backwards compatible, we'll say which ones it is. This week we have one, which is, it became available today, March 29th, which I didn't even know about. I actually just looked it up while we were doing the intro because I forgot to, and then realized John put it in here. But yeah, that is Call of Duty 4 Modern Warfare. Pretty interesting that they would do that one, because they remastered that, right?
Yeah, they remastered it, and this isn't the first time a remaster has got to backwards compatibility. I mean, all of the Halo games are backwards compatible now.
True.
And they have the Master Chief Collection, so it's happened a few times. Burnout Paradise was backwards compatible for a while, and that just came out on remaster. So it makes more sense to me to do it like this, where they've released it. This is well over a year since the remaster came out, so I mean, they really have nothing to lose. It's an awesome game, and people love it, so why not?
Yeah, I guess. I mean, it looks good on Xbox, just releasing all these games for backwards compatibility.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it for backwards compatibility on the Xbox One.
What have you been playing this week, Joel?
Yeah, let's go talk about some games we're playing. I played some Kirby Star Allies with my girlfriend. It's pretty fun. I found it's very fast paced. Like,
really?
Like in terms of I'm the type of person who wants to, explore the map and find all the secrets, find all the stars and whatnot in the game. Mm-hmm. And she just kind of wants to rush through it. And it just gets frustrating when she enters a doorway or something when I'm trying to look around. So I mean, that's the only downside to the game so far. But other than that, the graphics look awesome. I was playing on my big 65-inch TV, and it looked really pretty. It was a lot of fun. It's really easy for people to jump in and jump out. for instance, me and my girlfriend were playing in the living room, and our roommate came in, and he's like, "Oh, what is this?" I was like, "Oh, it's the new Kirby game just came out, a few days ago." And he's like, "Oh, cool." I was like, "You want to play?" He was like, "Yeah." I was like, "All right, pick up that controller." And then he picked up the controller. I think it's what button do you have to hold? B or something? I can't remember. You have to hit a button. You have to hold a button, and then it joins him in. And he was just in. And then 45 minutes later, he's like, "All right, how do I back out?" He literally just had to hold the same button, and it backed him out, and it became a computer in our squad. So it's really easy to have people jump in and out, which I think is really nice.
Yeah.
What's that?
That's cool. I've been playing it too, and I'm pretty much the opposite of you. I've only been playing it solo, and I've only played it in the handheld mode. I like it. I don't think it's fast paced at all. In fact, I think it's a little. I mean, it's breaking that. Just like everyone knew it was good to see. I think the only times I've died are when I thought that maybe like jumping down a hole might lead to a secret or something, but then I just die.
The game overall is extremely easy. Like you pretty much have to be trying to die in order to die.
Yeah. I think I'm on the third world right now, and I have like 40 lives or something, and that's like barely even trying. So it's super easy. It's a really good game that just played to waste time. I do want to play it with my daughter. One thing I keep seeing is they're only like showing that you can play with Joy-Cons. Do you know if you can play with other controllers?
Well, yeah, my roommate, when he hopped on, I have I think it's a Ori. I don't know how you say it. The $30 USB one. He was playing with that, so it worked fine.
Okay, because in game they only mention the Joy-Con, so I was like, but regardless, I'd be able to play like that.
I'm pretty sure any controller works. Like I'm pretty sure if you plugged in that GameCube controller adapter, that it would probably work too. But who knows?
Really need to try that still.
Yeah. All right. What else have you been playing?
Playing this entire game that came out last Tuesday for Xbox. We've talked about it a few times on the podcast here. I don't want to say it's really been disappointing, but it's definitely had its issues. It's a lot now. I remember the first night it came out, I 2 hours, and then I finally just gave up trying to even get into the game, which is really not a uncommon thing to happen nowadays, since so many games are focused on multiplayer.
Yeah.
It's
kind
just
of sad that that's expected nowadays.
Yeah, but really nothing has surprised me about the game. They added some more stuff in, but it wasn't like huge stuff. I was kind of hoping, I don't know, maybe more rewards, because playing the game right now is just very repetitive. It's either you're hunting for a treasure chest over and over again, or you're hunting a skeleton, which is the only enemy in the world besides other players.
Yeah.
And maybe like finding like little side chests and everything. It feels very empty at times. So there's definitely issues with it. That being said, it being a game as a service like so many games are, I think the future is really where this game is going to shine. Rare is they're a smart development team. They have been for years. They're going to really put some time and effort into making this game better. But it's going to be a bit boring at times. When you're playing with friends, of having a really fun time and crazy things happen, I would 100% not recommend playing this.
No, yeah, this game, it can be a lot of fun at times, but also I do have a lot of people on my friends list to play with, so that's one major factor. I think if I was alone and queuing up with randoms, it would not be as fun. But having friends that are playing the game definitely makes it more fun. But yeah, this game seems really empty to me. Like overall, the game, like I'm not gonna lie, I've been having a lot of fun. I've still been playing, countless hours of the game since it came out. But it like it just seems empty in a way. Like in a sense, it makes me wonder. Like, they teased this game like what 3 years ago now. Like, it does not seem like a game. Granted, I know nothing about game
Yeah,
development. It does not seem like a game that would take 3 years to make.
yeah.
Like,
Well, then you also think of all the years before that they were working on it. Even then,
yeah, true. But also like, I think that part of it too is that the water physics in that are so insanely accurate. I feel like they spent so much time on the water
I
in
think
the physics.
they got that from Forza Horizon 3, right?
I'm not entirely sure. Maybe graphically they did,
Yeah,
but I'm sure like the physics of having a boat on the water is something
yeah.
completely different to tackle because they really nailed the way that you
Oh yeah.
like a boat steers when it hits the wave.
Yeah.
The way the whole thing feels.
The sea- it's in the world, like on the land, and the people that really appeals to me, graphic, but just from a gameplay standpoint alone, just people. There's a lot of people bashing on it right now, calling it the new No Man's Sky and everything. They just need to be a little patient here, I think.
Yeah, I completely agree. But it being a game of service, like you said, it could be a completely different game. 6 months from now. But I will say that during the beta, they had us do mainly the chess missions, and I thought like they made it seem like they're like, oh, there's going to be so much more to the game when it does finally come out, but that's just not the case. There really isn't that much more.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, when it pretty much if you played the beta, you've played this entire game so far. And like the only end game goal right now is to get your reputation in like 4 different factions to level 50, which will take forever.
Oh,
And like
it will take forever.
yeah, you just they're gonna need to change that up or add more things in, add more rewards, because at the moment the only rewards are you get gold, and the only thing you can spend that gold on is cosmetics, which
It's purely cosmetics,
yeah,
which I guess is interesting because it makes the PvP all skill based at the moment because no weapons do more damage. Like you can have a blunderbuss when you first start the game, and I can have a skin blunderbuss after I play for 100 hours, and they're still going to do the same amount of damage.
yeah, which is cool, but also we're not playing Call of Duty here. Like I don't care about that balance really. This is a game about being a pirate, but pirates didn't play fair. So yeah, I don't know. I hope that they put a little more fun into the game.
Yeah, I mean, granted, I have been having a lot of fun as it is, but it's a game that I think the state it's at right now will probably die out pretty fast with people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I know a lot of people have been having, a blast playing. I see people playing every day. Like, I have people, my friends, is playing every day, but I see that dying out within like 3 months max.
Oh, but
If they don't add stuff soon.
Yeah, they have to get right on that. Right now, they're more focused on issues because there's been a ton of issues since launch. But
I mean, still there are still server issues, which is why we haven't even gotten achievements yet. They had to turn achievements off because the game physically would not let you in the game, and they found out it was because too many people were popping achievements.
yeah,
And so they had to turn off the achievement system so it allowed people onto their servers, which I don't quite understand. And just yesterday or 2 days ago, I think it was yesterday, they were having problems with Games Pass users not being able to get into the game.
yeah. There's been a lot of issues. There's also already been a couple days where they've had the game down for like 5 hours working on maintenance. Like we're just over a week of it being officially out.
Yeah, with them focusing on the server issues, I don't think that we're getting any big updates anytime soon.
What else have you been playing?
I've been playing some Far Cry 5, which is pretty awesome. The game starts out very strong. You haven't played it, have you?
No, I bought it, and I'm going to be playing co-op with a friend when she gets it, but we're just kind of waiting on that.
Cool, yeah. It's a lot of fun. It's a great game. Um, yeah, I don't know. I mean, it starts off really strong, and the beginning is really creepy. A lot of the cutscenes are really creepy. I'm almost up to the first boss. There's 3 main bosses you have to, kill before you take on the head boss, but that's not a spoiler. You find that out like right away. But yeah, I'm right up to that first boss. I'm getting there pretty soon, and I don't know, like the game looks great. I'll say that. I plugged it in my Xbox One X into my 4K TV for the first time yesterday to play it, and it looked really nice. I really liked the way it looked there. But yeah, overall, graphically, the game's awesome. It's more Far Cry, which is exactly what I was expecting. At the same time, I feel like they do need to change their formula up a bit somehow, just because it is getting kind of samey,
Gonna get that Assassin's Creed syndrome.
Yeah, exactly. Even though they're already on, even though Far Cry's already on like an every other year cycle, this is still getting on that Assassin's Creed thing where it's like, okay, this is the same exact thing I played before, but in a different location. Yeah, overall, I think the whole cult theme of the game is very creepy, and it's actually kind of realistic to think about. Like, if you think about it, it's actually kind of possible in a way. I don't think anything that large scale could ever happen, but, it's kind of believable. It being in Montana is pretty cool because it brings it to the U.S. and it's very, very much into America. They kind of stereotype a lot of people that live out there and thinking that like everybody's gonna have American flags everywhere, and everybody you encounter in the game that's on your side has an American flag somewhere on their clothing.
Oh,
so which is weird. I mean, I guess it's a way to tell them apart from enemies, but I don't know. I don't know how I feel about that. Just seems like they're stereotyping in a way. But yeah, the campaign's good. I'm really liking it. Yeah, ziplining's fun. Grappling onto helicopters is fun. Flying airplanes is cool. I did play some of the online. They're calling it the Far Cry Arcade. I don't know why they didn't just call it the Farcade. I think that'd be a cooler name.
that would be.
But, I mean, it's not that good, to say the least. It's pretty bad. Because when you matchmake, it puts in user-created maps. So other players create maps, and they put them into the playlist. And it's just in there, like the highest voted ones. And those usually aren't very good, especially at this point. Since the game's only been out 2 days, I can't imagine anybody's made any great maps since it came out.
I saw a thing that someone made the house from Resident Evil 7 on there.
Oh, that's interesting. I haven't played that game, but that's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I know some people have attempted to make Shipment and stuff like that from Call of Duty and Nuketown, but they didn't come out too well from what I played of them.
All right.
But yeah, I mean, the arcade it's Far Cry Arcade. I don't know. It doesn't feel as nice as the single player does, the way it plays.
Well, the single player is the main draw of that game.
Oh yeah, most definitely. I think that where the Far Cry Arcade, the Farcade as I call it, will be really cool is the so there's almost like a co-op thing in the arcade where people can create a map with a certain objective. And like I did one last night with my friend where it was essentially we spawned into a map that somebody made, and it was really foggy, and there were some houses, and we had to kill zombies as they came and attacked us in waves. I thought that was really cool. So I think the creativity there is really going to push the arcade forward more than, say, playing like Team Deathmatch will. And like, I'm just excited to see somebody's eventually going to create like, like a maze map of some sort where everybody spawns in with no weapons and you just race to the end or something like that. And I think that type of thing is going to be really cool. But yeah, the Far Cry Arcade, where it is right now, is not very good until people start making some cool stuff.
I got you.
But yeah, Far Cry as a whole, the story is awesome.
All right.
It's just more Far Cry.
All right. My last game I'll talk about here is A Way Out. I'm reviewing it for that video game blog. I'm hoping to have that up sometime this weekend. So far, I like it. It's pretty cool, some of the stuff that they have in there. Extremely easy. There's no challenge to it whatsoever. And like, even in the parts in the prison where you're supposed to be avoiding guards and everything. I had one moment where me and my friend Kate were playing through it, and she got ahead of me a little, and a guard cut us off, and he wasn't moving for a long time. So I'm like, okay, I guess I'll just try this, and we'll like reload. And I walked right in front of him, maybe 2 feet in front of him, and he never even noticed me.
That's weird.
Yeah. And there's been a couple times where things like that have happened. The AI in the game is really dumb. The story itself is pretty cool, and some of the co-op stuff is really awesome. I like how they have the split screen at all times, and depending on the severity of the mission and who has the more important part at the time, it'll like move the split screen like up and down or over to the side, giving the person with the more important tasks some more room to see. It's got some really cool stuff. If anyone wants to check it out, check out my YouTube channel, Revik Shadows. I've been putting up my gameplay there.
Sorry, I do have a question.
Yeah,
when you're playing co-op online, does it show? Were you playing online? Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
Does it show you? So it looks like you're playing right next to each other, essentially.
Yep. No matter what mode, if you're playing at home or online, there will always be a split screen.
Oh, that's pretty cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah, so you always see what the other person is doing. But yeah, it's got some cool stuff in there. The characters are very different, and you can kind of pick out which one you like better from the moment you start playing. Like, I think me and Kate chose the wrong people. Like, she chose the guy that's very brash and he'll be quick to start a fight, while I picked the guy that's very hands off and tries to overthink things.
Okay.
And
like, all right, go ahead.
I was just saying, just as you go on, you see things that both of them want to do, and you're like, I'd probably go with the other guy more than this, but it's not a big deal.
Do you know, are there multiple endings to the game?
The way things are going right now, I don't think there will be. I haven't finished it yet, but there are a few areas so far where you can choose to go about something differently. Like, for example, me and Kate were running from the cops, and we came to a bridge that had all these cops on top of it. And it was giving us suggestions like, do we choose to go underneath and climb across the bridge underneath, or do we steal a cop car and ram our way through? And we chose to go underneath. And it added some really cool stuff there. Like, for me, the whole entire time, it was very easy for me to get through because my guy was just fine. But who she was playing as was afraid of heights. So she couldn't really control her screen, her camera at all times. Like, there was a part where we were just kind of shimmying across the wall to avoid these cops. And when she went across, her guy was so focused on the heights and looking down that she was just stuck looking down, and my guy was the only one that could look up and see the cops and be like, hey, stop or go. That kind of stuff. The game does awesome with its co-op stuff.
That's really cool. Yeah, I like that a lot.
They have a lot of interesting things on the co-op side of things. Story is kind of but I like it so far, and there is no challenge, like I said. But so far, I'm thinking of giving it a pretty good review score.
That's cool. Yeah, I have no friends that want to play this game, and it's driving me crazy. I had one friend who I game share with who wanted to play it, and then like 2 days before it came out, like before me and you had decided we were going to try to play, he was like, yeah, I don't want to play that game. I was like, all right, whatever. Yeah, I don't know. He changed his mind. But yeah, so I got to find somebody eventually to play it with. I can maybe try and get my girlfriend to play it, but she's not very into gaming at all. She only plays like Mario and Kirby.
You could probably just try and sell it off to her, as it's a pretty good story. But if not, when I'm done with it, I'll play through with you so you can get the experience in.
Yeah, I was almost contemplating just going to Reddit and trying to find somebody that wanted to try it, which I'm sure will work.
The LFG on Xbox as well.
Oh, true. Yeah, I haven't even thought of that. Maybe I'll try that sometime this weekend. Is that all you have to say about A Way Out?
Yep, that's all I got until my review's out.
All right, cool. So the last game I've been playing this week is I got MLB The Show 18, which technically came out on this Tuesday, the 27th of March. But if you pre-ordered the game, I don't understand this at all. If you pre-ordered the game, you didn't have to get like the deluxe edition or anything. All you had to do was pre-order it, and you could get it last Friday, I believe. Yeah, last Friday. The way they did it is weird. You didn't have to buy, like the $80 version or anything to get it like 3 or 4 days early.
Mm-hmm.
But you just had to pre-order it, and so like I didn't know that, and I went to Target. I was like, yeah, I want MLB The Show 18, and they're like, oh, that's not out yet. That comes out Tuesday. I was like, all right, that's weird. So I leave Target, go in my car, look it up online, and somebody on Reddit's like, oh, you have to pre-order the game to get it. So I go to Target's website. It says I can pre-order it and pick it up today. So I pre-ordered it online for pickup, and I walked in the store to like the customer service desk, like downstairs in the Target. And I was like, hey, I pre-ordered this game, and it says I can pick it up now. And the lady's like, okay, let me go find it. She went to electronics, got the game, came back, and just rang it up for me.
That's
so
really weird.
It's not weird. I think it's just a dumb way of doing it. Like, because if I was somebody who didn't necessarily know that I needed to pre-order the game to get it early, then like, what if I was like, all right, well then I'm not buying that game. I'd have to wait till Tuesday. That's so weird.
Usually they don't do things like that for physical releases. Usually you can only get it early if it's a digital release and you pre-order it, which makes a lot more sense to me.
Yeah, well, like in this case, it doesn't make any sense. Like, why even have it release early?
Yeah,
it doesn't make sense to me.
Yeah, that is very odd.
Like they could easily just say, "Hey, this game is out on Friday. Go get it."
Mm-hmm.
Instead of making me jump through hoops to go on their website, order the game, and then go pick it up.
Yeah, that is odd. But the game itself, what do you think of it?
It's really cool. Graphically, I think it looks the same as MLB 17. I buy them every year. I like baseball a lot. Huge Sox fan, as you can tell from the hat. Yeah, I don't know. A Cardinals fan. I've actually been to a few Cardinals games. I used to go to school in Southern Illinois, and we were like 2 hours from St. Louis, so we would drive up there all the time.
Yeah.
But yeah, the game's really fun. I really love one of my favorite game modes, I think, is obviously Road to the Show, which is where you create your guy and you take him through his career. It's just so easy. Like, I can play for half an hour and I could play maybe 12 games because it only has you bat every time your guy is supposed to bat. It only has you field every time the ball's going to be hit to you. So it's really nice. And so, like, if your team is playing another team in a 4-game series, like at the end of the first game, you can just hit play next game, and it literally loads up the next game within 5 seconds. It's so fast. Yeah, it's pretty cool that way. I think my main favorite game mode, though, is Diamond Dynasty, which is, if you've played Madden, it's the ultimate team stuff, essentially, for MLB The Show. It's a lot of fun. I don't know. I like opening new packs, upgrading my team. I just like getting all the classic players and stuff. I've been wanting to go in and see if anybody uploaded a roster of the so I'm a Sox fan, like I said, and they won the World Series in 2005. So I wanted to go see if anybody uploaded the rosters from 2005, because you can create your own roster and upload them online. So, and people usually create like every year's rosters every year, so I'm interested to check that out. But yeah, I mean, the game overall is good. If you've played MLB The Show in the past, I'd say, well, last year they added the new Battle Royale game mode, but if you played last year, year before, it's all the same. It's all just more of the same MLB. But yeah, it's a lot of fun. I actually contemplated getting a PS4 Pro, to be honest with you. Just because, I have PSVR. Supposedly the PS4 Pro helps that run much better, which, I'm all for. I'm just curious. Maybe I'll look up some reviews and see what people are saying exactly about how much it improves it, I'm sure there have been people who have upgraded and noticed a major difference, so I'd like to see what their thoughts are on it. But yeah, I mean, upgrading to a PS4 Pro can't hurt, especially for games like this. You got God of War coming in a month. I'm excited to get that. Speaking of, we should talk about if we're going to game share for that, because I wouldn't mind doing that. Because I'm planning on buying it anyway. So, I might as well share the love with you.
Alright.
But yeah, I think we can game share now that I think about it. So we should definitely do that.
Yeah, I haven't played any MLB The Show since 2006, 2007, because that's when I had a PS2. I never had a PS3, and I just got a PS4. I plan on getting the new show game because I love baseball too. It's my favorite sport, but just haven't gotten it right away here. So I plan on grabbing it sooner or later.
Yeah. I mean, it's a lot of fun. I mean, especially if you haven't played one in a while. It'll be nice. Yeah, and you just got a PS4. Like, MLB The Show is the reason I bought my PS4 in the first place.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I bought mine.
I just miss playing baseball games, and Xbox has no alternatives.
Well, no good ones.
Moving on. So this game, I think we should just find a way to glue it to this document so it doesn't move from under your name. Because you never stop playing Overwatch.
Oh, yeah.
It's literally every week that is your game at the end of the list.
I just realized my camera's off. Yeah, I'm playing more Overwatch. They just announced a new event. Well, not new today, but Brigitte came out a couple of weeks ago. She's a lot of fun. Not as good as I thought she was going to be. I've been playing a lot of comp with my friends. We play like almost every night, and it's just a ton of fun. So we can move on the news.
Okay, so the news we have, first and foremost, this was announced over the weekend, I believe. Hellblade's newest sacrifice is coming to the Xbox One on April 11th. Yeah, I haven't played it. I know it came out on PS4. I guess it was a timed exclusive. Now we found that out. Supposedly that game does a lot of cool stuff with, like mental illness, I think, in a way. So I don't know. Maybe I'll pick that up and try it out because graphically it looked really cool from like all the videos I saw of it. The cutscenes look crazy. The motion capture of like the actress's face looks really cool. So, I mean, that might be worth trying out, especially if it comes on sale. I know it just came on sale for PS4 for like $20 this week. So, yeah, looking forward to that. Next up is a game. I don't know. Have you played No Man's Sky?
No, I just recently got PS4.
Well, I mean, it was on PC. I don't know if you played it there. But anyway, No Man's Sky is headed to Xbox One. The next big update arrives this summer. It's called the big update's name is called Next. Matt Wales of Eurogamer writes, Hello Games has announced that its ever-expanding space exploration sim No Man's Sky will get its next big update this summer and will also be heading to Xbox One. The new update has been given the name Next because, says Hello Games Sean Murray, it's an important next step on a longer journey for us and the community. No Man's Sky's previous update, Atlas Rises, launched in August last year. No Man's Sky is heading to Xbox One, marking an end to its PlayStation 4 console exclusivity. The Xbox One version will include all previous updates, as well as the new Next update at launch, and will be enhanced for the Xbox One X with HDR and 4K support. A physical edition will be released worldwide by 505 Games. I mean, I was really excited for No Man's Sky when it came out, so I bought it, pre-ordered it for my PS4, and I just got really burned on it, because I feel like the marketing around it was all, it was all just like obscure, like from what the game actually was. Like, it didn't line up. So, like, for instance, one of the things Sean Murray said in an interview, somebody asked, hey, if it's supposed to be a huge game where the world is just kind of generated in a way, each planet, and it's supposed to be so big. Somebody asked him, like, hey, if I happen to come across another player, will I see their ship? And he said, oh yeah, you will, but the chances of that happening are so slim, it will probably never happen. And that is literally something that he said. And literally the day after the game came out, somebody noticed that somebody else had been to the planet that he was at, because you can like leave kind of your mark in a way. I forget what it was exactly. I haven't played the game in over a year. But you can essentially tell if somebody's been to the planet based off the way something says something. And he saw their name, and he added them on PSN and said, hey, I saw you were at this planet. do you know how to get back there? And the guy's like, yeah. So they started streaming live on Twitch, and then they were watching each other's screen, and they're like, all right, we're in the same place. And they did not see each other at all. So that was just kind of like a blatant lie by the creator of the game, which kind of left a bad taste in my mouth. Like, I'm like, why would you say that if that's not actually a feature in the game? I mean, and like, it wasn't phrased like, yeah, that's something that's coming. He phrased it like, yeah, that's something that's in there right now. It'll just never happen because the game's so big. But I mean, overall, what I did play the game, I enjoyed. You know, the game looks beautiful. It's really cool. It's definitely worth checking out. Especially, I don't know what kind of updates have come to the game. I know they added a bunch of base building stuff. So, yeah, and I don't know if they've even added any multiplayer at all. Like, I don't know if I can hop into your game or anything. I doubt it, but
yeah. I've never been interested in No Man's Sky. I always thought it didn't look like a fun game at all. I just wasn't ever interested in it. But you know,
I mean, it looks really cool, like graphically. You know, all the colors. I think it would be really cool if it was a VR game. Like, I'd pop out my VR to check that out. But other than that, I don't think I'll go back.
Gotcha. Next up, Universal wants to bring the Fast and the Furious and other franchises to console. Ben Hansen, a Game Informer, who here is quoting Chris Heatherly, the Executive Vice President of Worldwide Games at Universal. The goal is to make a bigger push into gaming, Heatherly says. Just because we have so much IP that's unexploited in games, but it's a really great fit. We have the mega franchises like Jurassic World and Fast and Furious. We have stuff like the Universal Monsters that goes back decades. We have the horror stuff with Blumhouse. We have the animated stuff with Illumination and DreamWorks. It's really a broad portfolio. Even if the idea of a new Minions game doesn't get you excited, Universal owns a lot of fascinating IP like The Purge and Get Out. So yeah, this would be pretty interesting if Universal started making games. I mean, more games, and a lot of people love those movies. I would have a better feeling about games connected to movies nowadays than I would a decade ago.
Yeah, I completely agree. I mean, more games is always good, especially when it's based on IPs that we know and love, you know. Mm-hmm. But it would just, I just hope that they wouldn't mess them up.
I think they would be smarter nowadays, that take the route that Marvel's been going, where they've been shipping out their IPs to game developers to make games. So,
yeah.
Nice.
Moving on. Overwatch's Uprising event returns on April 10th. What is the Uprising event?
Uprising event came out last year. It was centered around Tracer's first Overwatch mission, and you played as her, Mercy, Torbjorn, and Reinhardt, and you had to take out all these invading Omnics in the King's Row map. It was a really fun event. It was probably my favorite. And they released a teaser today saying that it's coming out on the 11th, I think I said. And there's a few Easter eggs hitting in the background of it, that the next one will be revolved around Blackwatch, which is Reaper, Genji, McCree, and all of them. And that there were just a few things in there, like Sombra hacked it for a second to show a different case file and everything. It looks pretty interesting. I'm definitely excited for it.
Yeah, more Overwatch. It's amazing how much they support that game. Like, if you compare it to like other games, it is insane. Like, Overwatch comes out with stuff, it seems, almost every week. Yeah. If they don't come out with something, it seems like they're telling you about something that's coming. Yeah, which is really cool.
I love it. Next up, Doom got a 4K update for Xbox One X and PS4 Pro today. Not really much else to say on that. Just throwing that out there.
I bought Doom. I do have a 4K TV and an Xbox One X. I bought Doom like over a year ago now, because it was on sale for $20 at GameStop, and I still have not played the single player. I played multiplayer a bit, but not single player.
That was my second favorite game to come out that year behind Overwatch. I definitely recommend it. I loved it.
I mean, this 4K update is really going to push me to actually play it, which I'm excited for.
Definitely do. After that, we got Jurassic World Evolution release date announced. Matthew Cato of Game Informer said, Frontier Developments have announced that DinoSim Jurassic World Evolution is coming on PC, PS4, and Xbox One on June 12th, right around the release of the Jurassic World Fallen Kingdom movie on June 7th. The digital versions of the game hit first on June 12th, with physical copies for the PS4 and Xbox One following on July 3rd. Pre-order the title and you'll get 5 extra dinosaurs, a platform-exclusive helicopter skin, and an off-road vehicle skin.
Are you excited for this?
Very limited excitement.
Yeah, I'm the same way.
I mean, if it's cheap enough at some point, I'll probably give it a try.
I think the person I game share with is pretty excited for it, so I'll end up having it day one. I know that they came out with a gameplay video, I think today, that shows, I don't know how long it is, but it shows some of the gameplay. I mean, I've never been a big fan of these type of games. Like, I'm assuming it's supposed to be kind of like a zoo type, Coon type thing, right?
Yeah, you're supposed to make your Jurassic World.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, we'll see how it does when it comes out.
Yeah.
Moving on, Todd Howard won't even tell his son anything about the Elder Scrolls 6. Jason Schreier of Kotaku writes, if you were working on one of the most anticipated video games in the world, would you tell your children about it? That's a parenting challenge most of us don't have to face, but Bethesda Game Studios director Todd Howard is in a category of his own. My youngest was like, okay, when is Elder Scrolls 6 coming? Howard, who directed the Elder Scrolls 5, Skyrim, and Fallout 4, said on a recent episode of the Game Maker's Notebook podcast, and I'm like, I'm not going to talk about that right now either. He's like, can I give you my ideas? Can I work on it? Come on, tell me a few things. I'm not going to tell anybody. I'm like, well, you might, so I'm not going to say anything. Okay, I guess that's staying loyal. I mean, they're really keeping that tight because you know it's being worked on in some form.
The main reason I put this in there was just kind of they haven't officially come out and say that they're working on a new Elder Scrolls game, and I don't really care about Elder Scrolls, but I know people do, so
neither do I.
Wanted to put that in there so it's official. Even we all knew it was coming, but they just hadn't officially said that yet.
Yeah, I mean, when it does come, the world's gonna blow up.
Yeah, maybe
the gaming world, that is.
Yep. All right, so that does it for news. Every week now, me and Joel are asking people around, asking for a topic of the show that we can focus on.
Speaking of, if you do have any topics, leave them in the comments below or on our Facebook page. Just search the Pixel Street Podcast on Facebook. And yeah, just leave a message there saying what you think the topic of the show should be, and we will talk about it.
Yep. This week, I got my topic from my friend Liz Richards, and she asks, what nostalgia-driven game would you like to see remastered? So like any game that we grew up with that we would like to see a remaster for the new consoles or new generation.
Do you want to start?
Yeah, I've got one in mind already. Super Mario 64. I just playing Mario Odyssey and getting some of the Easter eggs at the end of that game, which really harkened back to Mario 64, just made me realize that I would love to play that game again on the Switch. Like, not just a port for like a virtual console. Like, I want a complete remake of the game. I think that would be absolutely awesome.
I mean, they definitely have all the tools in place to do something like that. Yeah, especially with Odyssey out now. But yeah, I think that would be a really good one. One that comes to my mind is I would want them to redo NBA Jam, but do it right. Because they redid it for the Xbox 360, but I wasn't a big fan of the art style. Mm-hmm. I would want them to stay with the pixelated art style and just kind of revamp it in a way. Because that was one of my favorite games growing up. I used to play that with my dad all the time, and I had a blast playing it.
That's cool. Yeah, besides that, let me think here.
I have another one I can rifle off. I would really, really want them. So this is a long shot. There's 2 games. I liked NCAA football a lot. I thought those games were fun. It definitely had a different feel to it than Madden does. That, you know, it had a different feel that Madden just doesn't have. But so that one's one. But another one I would really want back is I don't think it'll ever happen, and if it does, it won't be for quite some time. But I want EA Sports to bring back MVP Baseball, because MVP Baseball 2005, in my opinion, is the best baseball game ever made. It is so much fun. I
Yeah,
played that game for countless hours, probably hundreds of hours.
that's cool. Yeah, I mean, I grew up with a Nintendo 64. Mario 64 was my first game, and the Nintendo 64 obviously was my first console. I can only really think of N64 games I want redone. I think a complete remake of GoldenEye would be awesome. Get it up to date with controllers nowadays.
Yeah,
I think
that would be pretty
I
cool.
would really enjoy that. Banjo Kazooie, I would love to bring back and play again, even though you can play it on the Xbox One, the original version.
What was the name of the racing game? I can't think of it right now.
Nuts and bolts. We don't talk about nuts and bolts, okay?
No, that wasn't a racing game, was it?
Yeah, you made cars and you
No,
raced them.
I'm thinking of God. What was it? I thought Banjo
Diddy Kong
Kazooie was in it. Yeah, Diddy Kong Racing.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I thought you were talking about the 360 Banjo.
Wait, was Banjo in that?
Yeah, he was.
Okay, that's what I thought. But yeah, Diddy Kong Racing. Oh my God, talk about a fucking game, man.
Yeah,
They,
Diddy Kong Racing is awesome. That would be an awesome remake. But
I mean, those were back in the days when kart racers in general were amazing. They
yeah,
were like the games you wanted to play.
yeah, yeah, that would be awesome. Obviously, Rare wouldn't be able to make that anymore, but
Yeah.
that will probably never happen because Rare owns Banjo, and I think Banjo's a pretty big piece of that game.
I mean, who knows? It could go to somebody else. Somebody else could make it.
Yeah, but then they would have to leave out Banjo.
True. Hey, weirder things have happened. I think right now the main battle
are in Diddy Kong Racing.
Yeah, I think that the main battle right now is between Xbox and Sony. It seems like Xbox at this point is being way more lenient in terms of, like working with other platforms.
Oh yeah, they are 100%. Sony's the one that doesn't want to do any of that. So yeah, it's possible, but I just don't really see it happening.
Yeah, I don't either. It would be cool though.
Yeah. Can you think of anything else?
Let's see. I played a so Crash would have been a big one, but that is a big one. Spyro, we all know
Spyro
is
probably coming. Yeah.
I played this is kind of embarrassing. I played the shit out of this. There was a GameCube game called Donald Duck Going Quackers. It was essentially Crash Bandicoot in a Donald Duck skin.
Oh yeah.
And I probably 100%ed that game. I was so hooked on it because I got a GameCube. It was the first, console of that generation I got. And that was like some game that came with it or something. I can't remember. But so I only had like 3 games at the time. And that was the one that really stuck with me. I played the most. That was a lot of fun.
Oh, I got another one here. Burnout 3 or Burnout Revenge.
Yeah, I know people feel very strongly about the whole Burnout Paradise remastered over Burnout 3.
Yeah, I liked Burnout Paradise, but Burnout 3 was so much better in my book.
Yeah, I never really played a Burnout, so...
Yeah, if they ever remake that, I will definitely be buying it day one. Right just the crash mode in that is just so fun.
Yeah. That's what I've seen videos of it. I just never played it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can't really think of anything else. Final Fantasy VII is another game I played a lot of, but that's supposedly happening. Who knows?
It's coming.
Hold on. Speaking of Final Fantasy VII, we have to see something about that this year at E3, right?
Yeah, no,
they got to show something this year.
They'll show something. They'll probably give a release date for the first episode because they're splitting it up.
Yeah, that's weird to me still.
Yeah, no, I figure 100% that we'll be seeing it at E3, and hopefully we'll get a Kingdom Hearts 3 release date as well.
Yeah, I mean, I've never played Kingdom Hearts, but I know a lot of people are crazy about it.
Yeah, I am.
I think that's all I got.
Yeah, that's all I got too.
You want to drive it home?
Yeah, sure. Thanks so much for watching, guys. We're going to call it quits there. If you want to find either of our writings, check out That Video Game Blog. We both write reviews and editorials on there. Like I said earlier, I will be writing a review for A Way Out. Hopefully I'll have that up sometime this weekend. You can also find me on at Revx Shadows on Twitter, and my YouTube channel is also Revx Shadows, where I'm currently just putting up A Way Out videos, and then hoping on making a Sea of Thieves video here soon, but who knows. Other than that, check out the Facebook page, Pixel Street Podcast. We're over 100 likes now. Would like to get some conversations going on there. Be sure to leave your topics there for us to talk about. And yeah, over to you, Joel.
Yeah, thanks for getting us to 100 likes. I didn't think that was actually possible.
Yeah.
Pretty cool. Yeah, you can find me on Twitter at Campo63. YouTube is Almost Random, where you can be watching the show live right now on Thursdays at 9 p.m. Yeah, on all podcast platforms on Monday. Check out John's A Way Out videos. I know I will be doing that either tonight or tomorrow. Who knows? Tomorrow's Friday. I'll probably be doing that at work. Who am I kidding? But yeah, other than that, see you next week.